Guys, deluded. I'm back again now. For years, this talk has been going on in regards to a winter break. After every time and the last of the English sides go out of the Champions League, oh, we need a break. We're not as competitive because the other sides get a break and all of these things. Whether it's the break, whether it's whatever example of excuses English clubs have for not achieving in the Champions League, it could be put to bed. There's a winter break coming in, 2019-2020 season, I believe. I actually believe it's not, well, it is winter, but it's not exactly the winter break in December and things like that. It comes in, believe it's 2 weeks in February around the FA Cup time. So I think the FA Cup fifth round, rather than be played at the weekend, would be played on a weekday. And the Premier League, obviously, there'll be a break. So we face the prospect of around 13 days, 14 days without Premier League football. So yeah, there's big changes. And if you're a manager who wants to compete on the highest level or genuinely believes there needs to be a winter break like Pep Guardiola, then you're laughing. Or if you're like Wenger, where you said this would kill the English game or something to a degree. I am messing up his quotes and taking them a bit out of context because it's not exactly what he said. You're not going to be extremely happy. Personally, if it's in February, alright, cool. I just didn't want them to mess around with the Boxing Day and the New Year's Day and all of them things. If it's in Feb, cool. I'm not really fussed. Of course, I'm going to be fussed when we're not seeing Premier League being played. I mean, granted, this time, whenever it's introduced, Arsenal might be messing up and making me not want to watch football in that period. But it is what it is. Me personally, I'm just keen to see how English sides do now, because every English side, they lobby for many things. The whole top four, top six sides, they've all complained about this, as how they can't be more competitive in Europe. So now there's no excuses now. On top of the other excuses they had, there's no excuse. You've got your winter break now. You've got your winter break that you've been calling for. So now it's down to them to work with their squads, to whatever with their squads. Because I've seen English managers and English people in the English game. We've complained about the transfer window not closing when the season's open. We've complained about Champions League not having winter breaks, making us less competitive in the Champions League. Complaining about everything, and the excuses are slowly being worn down now. And when you see things like this coming into play, it's gonna be said. I mean, I'm keen to see how it be introduced, because I'm pretty sure in February. Don't the Champions League come back? So if there's a 2 week break, then there's Champions League shortly after, or the Premier League gets reworked. I'm keen to see how this would all work and how many games would be faced, because we face the prospect of like 5 fixtures being played on one weekend between so many sides, and then another weekend 5 others. And if you're in the Champs and all of these things, and in the FA Cup around this period, there's a lot of games as well as the 2 week rest, to be honest with you. I also, on the flip side of things, I know it's only 2 weeks, but would anyone complain that the side's not had enough fitness or lacked a bit of match sharpness or anything like that? I mean, it does open up scope for teams to go on. They already do it now when they get the chance. But warm weather winter training somewhere else. Could organise several behind closed doors friendlies at their home ground or whatever they want to do. Or they could just do a 2 week tour, because that could be an opportunity for teams, to be honest with you. So yeah, guys, Deluded Guna, YouTube's and Golo Kante. I'm signing out, man.